Ciao, sono Luca Manfe, winner of MasterChef Season 4, and you're listening to Growing Up Italian podcast.
What's up, everybody? This is a Growing Up Italian podcast. Today we have a special guest with us, Luca Manfe.
Buongiorno a
Ciao,
tutti.
Luca. My cousin Rocco is joining me.
Ciao, Rocco.
Un piacere,
Tutto
Luca.
bene? No, piacere mio. I've been watching you for a long time, guys. It's like you're celebrities to me. When I walk down the panini shop, it's like the world famous panini shop.
It's funny. Luca messaged me to do a podcast, and I was like, listen,
I begged him.
I'll let you know when I could do it.
Yeah.
And then I let you know when I could do it, right?
You did.
And Luca made the time.
And he made it. And he drove all the way from Pennsylvania today to be here.
A nice 2-hour drive. Non ti preoccupare.
No, man. It's always good. You know, when you are on the highway and you started to see the skyline, because, you know, I lived here for 10 years.
Yeah.
So this is like big part of my life when it's here. When I see the skyline, there is like this energy that comes up. Like, I love it. Every time I can come to New York. Also now, finally, we have some good weather.
Yeah.
So we come. Also, the kids love it.
Yeah.
Just walking around the streets is amazing.
How many kids do you have?
2. Luca and Valentino.
Oh, so Junior and Luca's the older one?
Luca is 7, is Evelino, like my grandfather, Luca Evelino. And then Valentino, because of Valentino Rossi.
Oh, yeah.
Big fan of Valentino
damn.
Rossi.
The best motorcyclist of all time.
I follow him when he started. He was 17 and I was 15.
Yeah,
wow.
that's your idol,
All
right?
this career. Yeah, it is really my idol. Like him and Giovanotti probably are my biggest idol.
Does Valentino Rossi still race, or he retired?
No, he retired last year after 25-something years, and now he drives cars.
Luca, tell us a little bit about yourself, because you seem like a man of many mysteries over here.
But no mysteries.
Where were you born, first of all?
That's funny, and if nobody believes it when I say I was born in Sydney, in Australia.
Australia.
Wow, okay.
So my parents moved there in 1971. You know, Italians big country of immigrants, right? They lived there for 15 years. So that's why I came back. I was 3 years old. So my accent, obviously. I'm Italian. My parents are Italian. I grew up in Italy.
So Italian was your first language?
All the time.
Yeah, because I could tell you had the little Brooklyn English.
Broken. Very broken.
We say scassato.
See, people say like, how long have you been here?
My whole life.
20 years, you know.
No, it's good,
you
though.
don't speak English
good,
yet.
though.
It's like, come on.
It's good, though. It's good.
No, it's
It's
character,
good.
personality.
Yeah, the accent is not something.
Where's your family from in Italy, though?
Friuli.
Friuli.
North.
I'm a big Friulano guy.
Yeah.
Where is that on the map?
Friuli is in the northeast of Italy.
Northeast.
I don't know if you're asking me because you
No,
don't know.
I don't really know.
Oh, okay. So we need to do a little bit of
No, because
geography.
I've seen a lot of like Friuli, like a lot of people like post like dialect videos, like.
You
I just
actually
posted.
That made me so happy.
That's why I'm asking.
That
dialect,
nonno
right?
reminded me of my grandfather so
Yeah.
much. I tried to reach out to them because I really would like to talk, because I speak Friulano. We are very proud of our, also because it's a language. Everybody talks about that.
Friulian, that's what it's called.
Friulano and Sardinian. Sardo and Friulano are the 2 dialects that are recognized
As their own languages?
as their languages and can be taught in
It's that
school.
heavy? Is it because it's completely
Forget
different?
about it, yeah. People don't really understand. So
geographically, it's like
Venice, east
Top
of
right,
Venice,
top right.
top right, east of Venice. You look at the map. We are on the border with Slovenia and Croatia, like ex-Yugoslavia, and on the north is Austria with the Alps, and then we are. So you land in Venice.
you look like you could be like from Austria or like a different, because you have like the blue eyes and light hair.
That's a very good point, because we were invaded and we were part of the Austrian-Hungarian kingdom for a long time.
I believe that. And, Italians, we've been, like, invaded so many times That's why we have so many dialects and we all look so different.
Yes.
Like people do when they see you, they're like, "Oh, you don't look Italian."
There's no such thing as looking Italian, though.
To me?
I truly
Yeah,
believe
do you ever get that? Like people say,
they
you don't
say you look very handsome.
So basically
Sì,
Italian.
bella mamma, bella mamma.
Sicuramente italiano.
It's
allora.
very cool about the history.
So after your family left Australia, you guys went to
Went
Friuli?
back to Friuli, right where my parents grew up.
What was the reason? They just missed it, or
My father missed Italy a lot.
he missed the
Family
food?
was over there. I think that back in the day it wasn't as easy, to be an immigrant. Like right now, you come over, you're Italian, everybody's cheering on you, right? Everybody gets excited. Back then, my father was a regular worker, so you would have to clash with all people, local
For languages,
people. Yeah. So I don't think he really loved it that much, but also all the family was back, all the nonni, my mother, parents, and everything. So they just moved back, and I mean now they're retired. They had a great life.
And the rest was history. So
The rest was history.
talk to us about yourself, man. How'd you get started into doing what you do? And what is it that you do? Let's start with that.
So what is it? What do we do? I started as a server back in the day. When I came to New York the first time, that was the easiest job.
So that was your first job. You were a server.
In America, yes.
Okay.
What year was that? You remember?
2003.
Okay.
Of course I remember.
Si bella frisca,
I
lo.
love it. Almost 20 years. So I'm 41 this year.
You look good. You look good.
So thank you.
You look good. You look good.
So almost half of my time now, all of my life has been here in America. First time was in Disney World.
Wow. Was it like an internship? Yeah.
Everybody does that.
Cultural.
Epcot?
Epcot Center.
Yeah, there you
in
go.
the Italian pavilion. It was an incredible experience. Almost 22. First time away from my family. I think almost first time getting into an airplane.
Yeah.
And then Florida. But because Epcot, all these people that you see in the Epcot pavilions, they're all from that country.
Yeah.
So imagine that you're sharing. We lived in the
I like
same
that though
place.
because it's authentic like that.
Oh, forget about it. Yeah, you really learn a lot. I don't know about the culture, but you really learn a lot. It's a game life-changing experience because you really get to experience. No, this is jokes apart. You really get to experience the culture because you hang out with a lot of people from other countries, and they don't put you in the same apartment with other Italians specifically for that reason. So you improve your English. I lived with a British, with a German, with a French, another guy. We have somebody from UK. And
the United Nations.
It is amazing. I think there's like 11 or 12 different countries.
Yeah.
So then that I did for 1 year. Then I went back to Italy, and as much as I love Italy and Friuli, where I'm from, 8,000 people town where I grew up.
Small town. It's like us.
So I go to Italy, to America for 1 year. I traveled. We came to New York, Las Vegas, Miami. We went to Costa Rica, Jamaica. Then you go back home and it's like, okay.
Yeah, your mind saw a world of potential.
Because after a while in Italy, everything is the same. People work from Monday to Friday. They wait Friday night to go out, and Saturday night, and Sunday they rest, soccer and everything. So that for me was the time to just travel.
Right.
And then I took off. I went to Sydney because I had the Australian passport. But as much as it's beautiful, it's an amazing city. The weather is fantastic.
How can you compare the weather? Like California almost? Like dry?
So Sydney is very, very hot. The winter, also is opposite
It's
from
opposite,
us,
yeah.
right? But the winter is very short. And when it's hot, it's really hot. But also, you live in a city, but you go to the most amazing beach,
Right.
Like the sightseeing when you're driving on the coast. I would say, I like San Diego a lot. That San Diego reminds me a little bit of the coast of Sydney, the Pacific Ocean.
Okay.
Yeah, I think like California.
But I didn't like it as much as I loved America. And also I had many friends that were with me in Florida, they were already in America. Some in New York, some in Miami. So we would talk, email and messages and stuff. It's like, nah, I got to go back to the States.
And then
So you started as a server. What made you get into the kitchen?
the show. So I work as a server before, then I become a restaurant manager. I mean, I worked in a lot of very good restaurants. The best probably was Geisha.
Is it still open?
No, it's closed. It's part of the Serafina group.
Okay.
But they used
Serafina's big, yeah.
Yeah, they used to have a Japanese restaurant.
Oh, really?
It was absolutely fantastic.
So you worked in a Japanese restaurant?
3 years. I loved it.
Sushi.
This was the thing. So the first couple of years that I work in New York, I work in Italian restaurants. One was Remy, 53rd and 7th.
Yeah, I heard that one.
Yeah, very Venetian style, which was my style, right? So all food that I understand. And then when I was going around and look for another restaurant, because I got fired from over there.
Why'd you get fired? Too much espresso breaks?
We don't have to go into details. Don't worry.
It was a long time ago. I don't mind sharing it, but that was the type of guy I was. I hit with my head another server.
What, you thought you were Zinedine Zidane or something?
I hit it in his forehead. And,
allora sei pazzo,
and the manager at the end of the night, he said, I think, you gotta go.
Bro, someone that hits you with their head is a psychopath.
Allora
Stay away from them. Because think about it.
In the middle of service. With customers sitting on the table.
Bro, think about it. You're hurting yourself just as much as you're hurting the person.
I didn't. It was just more of the gesture. But anyway, that was a long time ago. I'm a nice guy.
Yeah.
You can see.
I'm about to get headbutt right now.
I changed a
Hold
lot.
on.
Yeah, please don't.
So how's everything?
Yeah, don't do that to us.
I changed a lot. So when I was looking for a new job, I was looking at these menus, and the majority of Italian restaurants, they serve the same stuff.
Yeah,
I was
chicken parm.
To this day.
Right? I was looking at the wine list, and it was always the same wines, and I said, I was getting almost depressed. I said, I gotta start all over again and selling the same stuff. And then this guy calls me that sells wines, and he said, hey, there is Serafina's looking for a server, but also next door at the Japanese restaurant, they looked for a server as well over there. I looked online at the menu. 85% of the ingredients, I had no idea what it was. And I say, this is where I want to work.
Really? You wanted to take that challenge?
I wanted to learn more.
Yeah.
I wanted to get a challenge. That's the right word. I wanted a job that challenged me. Yeah. And actually, I think training was almost 4 weeks.
Wow.
Or training was 4 weeks.
Training was 4 weeks because until they were not 100% confident that you knew the menu, that you knew what you were talking about. First thing you did in the morning, you went to the sushi bar. And the sushi chef would bring out the fish.
And show you.
And you would have to guess what it was. And he would change it day after day. He would change the position.
Yes.
So you wouldn't remember just the position, but you have to recognize. And then during service, when they have these beautiful sushi platters with all different, he would call you over and say, describe me the fish.
Japanese culture takes food and wine and whiskey very, very serious.
It's so good. I think it's my favorite after Italian cuisine.
Me and one of my friends argue all the time, and he says Japanese food is better than Italian food.
It's amazing. And you know what is the similarity of it? Is the quality of the ingredients.
Right.
Why everybody
good
says
fish and
why everybody says when they go to Italy, the food tastes so much better, because we put effort on the food that we pick, right? Because we always use seasonal ingredients, right? A tomato is going to be delicious in July and August. It's not going to be delicious in January, right? And Japanese people and cuisine has the same kind of dedication to the quality of food. That makes a big difference.
Yeah. So here we are now.
Oh, I was talking about my story. I forgot. No, Geisha was a game changer because I still long-time family, long-time friends that we work together now. They become family. My wife, I met at that restaurant over there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and then...
was she a customer or she was working there?
She's working there. We did not get along at all when we worked together. But then I quit and I went to another restaurant that was a few blocks away. And that's great lesson for me. I went to the other restaurant because they paid me almost double than what I was making at Geisha, but I hated it. So that was a great lesson. Okay, money is not really the most important thing. You should make decisions in different ways, right?
Money's important though too.
Money,
you gotta pay the bills.
Very important, 100%.
But anybody says that money's not important is lying.
No, I didn't say that. I said they're not the most important thing.
Because you can't pay your rent with dreams.
No, I absolutely agree with that, and that is true. Everybody can say that.
So then what, your wife came by the new restaurant or something? How did you rekindle?
I would go and visit because the place was only 4 blocks away. And the restaurant I left, Geisha, for me was like home. I was actually working during service in the other restaurant as a manager. And I would just walk to Geisha, get a drink. I wonder why I lasted only 8 months in that job. But I would just go to Geisha, have a drink. And that's me and her started to connect after that. But it was a long process to get where.
Which restaurant did you start getting in the kitchen?
Never.
Never?
Never. So MasterChef is for amateur cooks.
Okay.
So after that restaurant I didn't like, there was Bottega del Vino. I end up in the Upper East Side. The great guy called Enrico Proietti.
He sounds familiar.
Yeah, he Baraonda.
Okay.
Perlei and Bella Blue. I think Bella Blue is the only one that is still open. I'm not sure.
I heard of Perlei too. I feel like I ate there.
I worked at Perlei for a while. I liked it. It wasn't my favorite place, but when I was at Perlei, that is when I went to do the audition for MasterChef for the first time.
Gotcha.
So MasterChef is for amateur cooks. So we actually signed a contract that says you never attended culinary school and you never worked in a kitchen before.
Oh.
I was in the restaurant industry, but I was a front of the house guy. And that's it. I actually never worked in a restaurant in my life. But after the show, I started to do this, what I call them dinner with Luca. And I go and cook in people's home. So people call me bachelorette party. People call me for anniversary dinners, birthday parties, right? Or sometimes just to get together. Oh, graduation. It was last month. It was a lot of college graduation, stuff like
Personal
that.
cook.
Yeah, personal cook, small, intimate, which I love, And we're not just like the catering company that drops the food there and warms it up. No, it's like
very hands-on.
Restaurant style food, very fancy.
In your book, what are most of the recipes?
So the book is funny. This is a piece of history right now because this was made 8 years ago. They're not going to do a second run. So you're not going to find it anymore. I brought something because I saw Rossella coming last week and she brought you off of a grocery store. I say if I go there empty-handed, they're going to yell at me.
You can't keep up with Rosella. she has a whole
Yes. So this is time for me to do a new book. I'm still proud of this book, but this was right after MasterChef. So still, I never really cooked in my life.
Right.
Now it's been 8 years after the show.
And now you're cooking a lot more.
Now I'm cooking a lot more. My cooking style changed a lot. My techniques change. So it is time to make a new book. What I like of this cookbook are the stories. And I say a piece of history because I don't think you even find it on Amazon anymore. I think the run is over. So the history, what I talk about, every recipe has a little bit of a meaning. And I love those recipes that are food that my mother or my grandmothers used to make for me.
Yeah.
That, to me, is something.
The traditional dishes are meant to be
authentic.
Like the meatballs is my mother's recipe. There's a fried eggplant recipe that was my grandmother.
But I'm surprised they allow you to share it. Our family's very stingy with their recipes. Like, make sure you don't say this.
They leave one thing out always.
So we can't. Everybody asks for recipes when we make something, but we can't.
Really? They keep the secret?
I swear to God.
No, we are.
I don't know what it is. They think it's like a treasure chest.
We are open. No.
I want to play a little game.
Okay.
No saw intended.
I love
games. I want to play a game.
I love games.
I'm going to give you a couple of pastas.
Okay.
Pasta shapes.
Okay.
And you're going to tell us the perfect sauce for that pasta.
Oh, you're going to put me on the spot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now it's time to put you on the spot.
Okay.
The first one, Cavitelli.
Oh, Cavitelli. Okay, so Cavitelli is mostly from the south, right? Mm-hmm. And he has this shape that is made to hold the sauce because of the shape, right? Mm-hmm. So I would say any meat sauce.
Like a bolognese sauce?
Bolognese, yeah, but see, bolognese is more from the north. I don't know what they make Cavitelli with.
Pasta asciutto. We call pasta asciutto like just a regular tomato sauce, fresh tomatoes.
Fresh tomato. No, but I like, that meat sauce.
Like
it doesn't have
ragu?
to be ground beef, like a ragu that's been cooking for 4 or 5 hours.
Very dark sauce.
Dark sauce, very rich in flavor.
Cavitelli is the perfect Sunday dinner shape.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree. Because he holds the sauce so much.
All right, the next one is fusilli.
Fusilli is more like a fresh type of pasta. So I actually like fusilli with my insalata di pasta, right? When you do
Like a
Pasta
pasta
salad?
salad?
pasta salad, right? Or with something fresh like spring peas, green peas, and maybe prosciutto, right?
Like a little prosciutto.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like not refreshing, but it's like
Yeah, it doesn't like
It holds a lot of stuff in there
Yeah.
too,
Yeah.
though.
But like, how many times do you eat fusilli?
it's true.
We eat fusilli a lot.
You do?
We had fusilli this weekend.
With what?
Red sauce.
Red sauce, just sauce.
Okay, just basic. I think fusilli.
You know what it is? Our family makes a lot of fresh fusilli.
Yeah. Oh,
Like when they make
It's
they
like
made fresh fusilli.
kind of like the easiest to make. I feel.
Yeah.
You know, roll it out.
They just
twist
roll it out,
and then
yeah.
cut it up. You know.
Very nice.
Penne rigate.
Again, tomato. Oh, you hide in the penne rigate. Again, a tomato sauce works well.
Vodka
right?
sauce.
Vodka sauce, very good. The rigate, the
'cause it holds- it holds-
I'm
yeah.
trying to instigate. I want to see where your stance is on vodka sauce.
Oh, come on! I'm not like that. I think anything can be made as long as it's
The ingredients are
delicious.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? It's not authentic Italian. Who we are to say, you know?
I like you.
guys'
I like
attitude,
you,
yeah.
Luca.
Yeah, like.
What
but
about
no.
rigatoni?
So rigatoni is the large shape,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
The
again,
rigatoni are like that, and then they have a hole.
yeah, yeah.
That one we're talking about.
That's bolognese. Rigatoni bolognese.
Yeah, that's a good bolognese.
Classic. Yeah.
Linguine?
Linguine, a variety. So my favorite linguine is clams.
Yeah, linguine clam
yeah.
sauce.
Clams,
That's
garlic,
the first thing that comes to mind.
white wine, parsley. Like, yeah.
Can't beat it.
I don't see. I think we do linguine with panna e prosciutto in San Daniele. You know San Daniele prosciutto? I mean, I know you guys only think the prosciutto is from Parma.
No, San Daniele is very good too, though. San Daniele is
San
very
Daniele.
It's
good.
a little
in San
cheaper than
Daniele,
Parma, too.
I think. Did you say what, linguine?
Yeah.
No, that's tagliolini. We make tagliolini with San Daniele with a touch of cream. They chop the prosciutto thicker, and then on top you put the thin prosciutto, touch of cream, and poppy seeds.
I never had that.
Tagliolini San Daniele.
That sounds good. I
it's
would
very
definitely have
famous,
that.
Very famous.
What about spaghetti? That's a popular.
So spaghetti is either you go classic tomato and basil,
Yeah, simple as
but
that.
also spaghetti
Aglio
carbonara,
e olio.
aglio e olio,
Aglio
cacio
olio.
e pepe.
But linguine aglio olio, too, no?
Linguini, aglio olio too, but this is the thing. Like when you make aglio olio and midnight after the club with your friends, you know, you don't make linguini.
You want the heaviest.
You make burdella. Yeah.
What about spaghetti and meatballs?
Next?
So
listen, guys, vodka sauce he accepted. Spaghetti and meatballs he could.
I didn't want to start a polemica. So spaghetti and meatballs. This my wife is an eye opener on this one. Like, what is the difference? That's what she says between bolognese and meatballs when you make it on top. Because if you break the meatballs, that's kind of a bolognese.
That's true. I never heard anybody compare like that. But.
So I've been here for a long time. My wife makes it at home, and I ate it, and I was like, it is delicious, right? Then you can start the debate that says, okay, in Italy they make it too, but the polpettine they're much smaller,
small.
right?
Here in
But
Gazzone
in the
due
long-
palline, così, eh?
You know what I like the most? Is when I cook the meatballs and I leave the tomato sauce cooking in the meatballs
Yeah.
for 4 or 5
Yeah,
hours.
because then the sauce gets over
That
the meat.
sauce is
best.
the
The
best
best.
for the pasta. That's to me is the whole secret of it. But spaghetti and meatballs, why not? Right? We've been accepting.
You threw a curveball.
I thought you were going to be like, absolutely not.
Man, no. If it's delicious, like even like chicken parmigiano,
You're very accepting, huh?
because I've been here for 20 years.
What about pineapples on pizza? All right. I just want to make sure he wasn't a robot.
Yeah,
To get back on track, what about orecchiette? Perfect sauce.
Orecchiette, if you do anything but broccoli rabe and sausage, something is going to fall in your head. Huh? No, orecchiette. You know what I do? And I don't know if it's very traditional. I saute also, how do you make the base for the broccoli rabe?
A little extra virgin olive oil, no?
EVO.
And a little pasta water?
Garlic?
Forget about it.
Garlic.
Take notes. Garlic, shallots, anchovies.
Anchovies?
But he doesn't like fish.
Broccoli. But no, you don't even taste it.
Yeah, it's just a lot of anchovy dishes like melt.
I love anchovies.
So you melt with the olive oil. Huh? Obviously, little red pepper flakes, right? Then the broccoli rabe, you can cut it or boil it and then put it in. If you boil it, to me, they retain too much water. Right. So either I boil it earlier and I let them drain all the water.
Is it called blanching it, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir. The blanching is like boiling water, ice water, so they keep up the crunchiness, and also they don't overcook, right? But then you need to drain them a lot. Otherwise, you're going to have all this water going, right?
Yeah.
But then I take some of that broccoli rabe and I make a little puree. So my bottom of the sauce is more green and is more liquid, but it's not just water, it's the actual...
Has a flavor.
Makes sense.
So the pasta gets a little bit more red.
I never heard anybody make it like that. That's unique, but it makes sense.
It's one of the... I feel that sometimes if you do just sausage and broccoli rabe, if you don't do it in the right way, you might have... It might be a little bit too dry, you know? And also, I like also toasted breadcrumbs on top. Pecorino, right? Little spicy.
You gotta cook for us sometime.
I can, anytime.
We'll do a little spectacle.
Oh, forget about it.
What about gnocchi?
Anytime. So, gnocchi, where I'm from, the most classic in Friuli is duck ragu.
Wow. I would love to try that. I would love to try that.
That's like rabbit ragu, too. It's like a big thing, too.
Oh, rabbit ragu. So, famous rabbit... I remember my grandmother making a rabbit stew. I'm going to avoid the story when they made me kill the rabbit when I was 8 or 9 years old. But my grandmother used to make this rabbit ragu with potatoes and a little bit of tomatoes. But where we are from in Friuli, it's very famous gnocchi with duck ragu. And they make the duck is ground meat, right, of the duck. And it's cooked. It's very, very, very simple dish. And then usually the ragu is put on top. No tomato, just like the duck.
See, like when I think of gnocchi, I think of like now, especially in New York, like a butter, sage.
Yes, brown
butter. Brown. Like that's a big. Every restaurant, that's what they have gnocchi with now.
Also, did you see how much it changed the way that people cook gnocchi right now? They like to toast them.
Toast them.
Yeah.
Right? They call it Parisian style gnocchi. They toast them.
What do you think?
I'm not a fan.
I like my gnocchi's mushad, you know?
No, like
so you like potato gnocchi or ricotta gnocchi? What do you prefer?
I like both to eat. Honestly, I'm not a fan of making ricotta gnocchi because they're a little bit harder, right?
Okay.
And I can make... So, where I'm from, potato gnocchi are very famous, but also butternut squash gnocchi.
Yeah, that's another one.
Pumpkin gnocchi, but that's made... just flour and pumpkin, and then we drop them on the water just with a spoon. Yeah. We don't roll them out.
Right.
The dough is kind of wet and sticky, so we take usually a spoon. Also, if you want to do it fancy in the restaurant, you do like a pastry bag, and then they cut them, right, and you put it in the boiling water. Those are amazing. Pumpkin, and back in Italy, in Friuli, we make it with the butter and sage, and we finish with smoked ricotta, which is a big thing where we are from. Because, you know, they used to, not refrigerations.
Yeah.
Lots of farmers.
The pasta had to be made on the spot,
Yeah, they have to make, like, things, how they have all this milk, they make cheese, and then they have the leftover whey, they make ricotta, but the ricotta is going to spoil, so they were smoking it.
Right.
It's amazing, like, the mentality behind it is amazing.
What about pappardelle?
Pappardelle is braised something. Rabbit, as you said.
Yeah, like rabbit ragu con pappardelle.
You think also buco or no?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, also buco with the...
Anything braised, it goes with pappardelle. Oxtail, rabbit, boar. Wild boar in Tosca.
That's big where we're from, too.
Cignale. How do you say boar?
Cignale.
It destroys your car.
That's where they hunt.
Where we are from, like I had a couple of friends that they like destroyed the car. They are massive, these animals.
Yeah.
They come out from nowhere. Like the deer.
That's all muscle too. They're not like pigs.
They're mean.
That's why their meat is tough.
Oh, they're mean. Yeah, that's why you break.
But they're also like 200 pounds, 250
straight muscle.
Yeah,
those things.
Yeah, they're so
The last one.
Okay. I like this joke.
Ravioli.
Yeah. So ravioli, this is actually a story from MasterChef. Because I was making this ravioli with broccoli rabe, and I served them with a pecorino cheese sauce. And I could never get this sauce right. And Gordon Ramsay told me and looked at me and he said, like, why are you trying to make this cheese sauce? That's a lesson.
Chiede Nugaco cazzo però, eh?
What?
Chiede Nugaco cazzo.
I love him. I love it. So the ravioli, he said, your ravioli are, the filling is so delicious. You just need the sauce, light sauce to complement the ravioli, not to overpower. Yeah. So ravioli, the best of the ravioli is the filling. That's the surprise. When you open it, it's like a present, like wrapped in the pasta, and then you open it up and you look what's inside. That's like, so you need a sauce. To me, butter and sage. Yeah, I'm not a fan of brown butter sauce. Burro nocciola, they call it in Italy. In the ravioli, I don't care for it too much. So you need the sauce. But honestly, a simple ricotta and spinaci, I have no problems putting tomato sauce in it. Ricotta, spinaci, tomato sauce, ravioli, I have no problem.
So since you didn't bring up the sauce, I have to ask, what's the best pasta shape for pesto sauce?
So in Genova, in Liguria, it's trofie.
Trofie, right?
But also bavette, which is similar to a linguine.
Which one's that?
It's similar to a linguine.
Okay.
Bavette al pesto, and over there, they also call it trenette al pesto, which as far as shapes are very similar. Yeah. But usually it's like trofie. Small trofie pesto, fresh pesto.
Before we go, when do you think it's more important for fresh pasta and the dry pasta? Is there like certain sauces that it must be fresh pasta, and then there's like certain sauces must be a dry pasta?
Let's start saying that there's nothing better than fresh pasta, right?
Mm-hmm. But some sauces don't go with it.
Some sauces don't go. So when you have a rich sauce, you need fresh pasta. You need long pasta, right? To me, I don't like to have an oxtail with penne.
Yeah.
You know, I think
I like a spaghetti, yeah.
Right? No, fettuccine, pappardelle, linguine. Short pasta is more the easy stuff, right? So box pasta, tomato, and pomodoro, right? Even sausage, broccoli rabe and sausage, you can do like a box pasta. I feel that when you have a sauce,
right?
Yeah, when you have a sauce that's been cooking for a long time, you need to give that fresh pasta. I think it's also a consequence, and that's how you do it in the kitchen. You put up the sauce, the sauce cooks for 5 hours. Let me make the fresh pasta for it. The rest is more like the box pasta is for easygoing stuff. Green peas and ham, like pane prosciutto, right? What we said, tomato sauce, right? I mean, there's nothing, penne bolognese or rigatoni box pasta. It's still delicious.
Yeah.
As long as you don't overcook it.
Of course. But I have one last thing.
Yes.
There's two things part of this thing.
Okay.
Well, let's have a little more fun. All right.
Okay.
You know, you being a winner of MasterChef, can you tell us, does the pasta shape affect the way it tastes?
Does the pasta shape affect the way it tastes?
So does rigatoni taste the same as penne rigate to you? Is basically what I'm asking.
In a sauce or generally?
In general.
Because people always talk about it, that the pasta shape affects the way the pasta tastes. I mean, that, like, let's say, I'm trying to think of an example.
A farfalle tastes different than a rigatoni.
All right, so let's say if we're making vodka sauce, right?
Yeah.
Or a bolognese, a farfalle e penne rigate, they're the same flour and everything, but does the shape affect the taste?
What do you think? And the debate right now.
Is that type of pasta, like same box, same
the Checo, whatever.
Barilla.
Yeah.
No?
It's just more comfortable, you're saying?
Farfalle and rigatoni.
Does it taste the same to you?
I mean, the texture is different, but the flavor is the same.
Okay.
I think like the different pastas hold the sauces differently. So you're actually enjoying the sauce more.
Yeah, but
I agree with
But
that.
you got to answer the question as it is, though. You can't put everything else into perspective.
I can't put in everything else. Like, you're looking at me like you're supposed to say yes. They taste
No, you're
different.
like, because I'm gonna say yes. They definitely
Okay.
taste different to me.
Okay,
You can't tell me.
I'm
You
gonna
can't tell me
try.
Cavitelli and Fusilli taste the same because to me it's
From a box?
from a box. It tastes completely different. Whether you put sauce,
Made
the
with
same
the same
sauce,
flour?
same sauce, same flour or not, it tastes to me
the
it's different.
taste?
It's in my head or what?
The taste to me is the same. The texture is completely
The,
different.
the experience is different, though.
The experience is different.
Because
But
the way you hold the sauce holds in the pasta. I'm getting hungry.
okay,
We gotta eat something
I think
now.
it's also the way you saute. Like if you make the sauce stick to the pasta in the right way, you use the pasta water. But I would say no final answer.
Okay.
Same flour, same brand.
Same thing. Everything the
Yeah.
same. Just the shape.
One last thing before we go.
Okay, you
All
said
right.
one last thing. 25 minutes.
No, you know I got busted chops. All right, you being on MasterChef,
Yes.
is Gordon Ramsay the man that he is perceived to be? This intimidating guy.
I love him. Oh, it is. Oh, forget about it.
Yeah?
He has a presence. Like at the beginning, when you first get into the show, and like the cameras are new, the lights are new, the judges, he is intimidating. He's the guy. Like I don't know. I never work in a corporate company, but imagine that if you're just like a small guy in a big corporate company, and the CEO walks on the hallway,
He's that
you're
guy?
Just like he's like that.
He scares
But
me.
then, no, he is very intimidating, and he's the one, and he liked me a lot. So after a while, the relationship, like we talk to them only on the show, so it's not that like we become friends,
Right.
But because we talk to each other every single day, after a few weeks, you get more relaxed
Comfortable,
around
yeah.
him. But is he still the one until the last day that you want him to be the happiest?
Yeah.
He is the one you want.
Because he's
to
the hardest to
impress.
please.
Yeah, and then if you look at him at his personality overall, I mean, he has a history of being that chef that maybe was in Hell's Kitchen, right? But that's what it used to be the industry back then.
Yeah.
It was normal. Over the years, he changed a lot. And now you can see, first of all, he's an incredible smart businessman. And in every different show that he does, he has a different personality. He's the sweetest guy in MasterChef.
I have nightmares of him.
I
I have nightmares of him trying to go on my
love
sandwich
him.
and be like, what is this dog food
No,
there?
but also after the show, I reached out a few times just for personal favor, and he was always very happy to help, and it was very
Shout
nice.
outs to Gordon.
Oh, I love him.
He's doing the right thing. Guys, make sure to check out Luca Manfe on all social media. He's a friend of ours.
Ciao.